Welcome to Detox Q&A, where all of your detox questions get answered to reclaim your energy, heal your gut, and leave brain fog behind. We're here to help you live a low-tox, high-vibe life that's easy on you and the planet, so you can be who you came here to be. I'm your host, Sinclair Canale, certified toxicity and detox specialist, expert on detox for digestive disorders, and survivor of complex chronic illness. Episode 2, why hasn't my doctor talked to me about detox? Well, this is actually one of the questions we get the most, and I want to break this down a bit. First, let's define detox, because early in my health journey, I had sort of this vague notion that detox was only for folks recovering from substance abuse, or it was a cleanse for fancy people in Los Angeles that like to navel gaze and throw up in a bucket in the woods on retreats, fancy, expensive retreats. That's not exactly my idea of a vacation, by the way. And I definitely did not see the connection between detox and healing my weird gut issues, which I thought defied, diagnosis, my fatigue and my brain fog. And actually, at one point or another, I believed every one of the myths we're going to cover today. So that's why I'm excited to walk you through them, because knowledge is power, baby. Okay, so myth number 1, detox is not necessary for anyone. This is a really important one to cover because our bodies are brilliant and have their own complex detox mechanisms. Many traditional doctors and health practitioners will roll their eyes and say additional detox is unnecessary. Only stupid people would do that, right? And Michael and I paid those docs a lot of money and wasted years listening to that train of thought while we watched our symptoms get worse, not better. So if they're wrong, why do they say this? Well, doctors get an average of 7 hours in environmental toxin education in their entire academic career. And that's if it's covered at all. That's insane. Pretty strange considering there's plenty of data to cover. There are thousands of studies done on heavy metal exposure toxicity and related health conditions. And that's just one class of toxin. Don't take my word for it, though. Just search pubmed.com and see for yourself. The bottom line is, if you're not trained in it, you just can't speak to something that you don't understand. And most of allopathic medicine and even natural medicine is focused on suppressing the symptom, first getting the diagnosis, right? And then suppressing the symptom, instead of going all the way back upstream and asking, why is this happening in the first place? If our bodies are brilliant, which they are, and they're just so excellent at maintaining themselves and creating this constant healing, why has this happened? What was the originator that started this ill health off in the first place, right? And why has it gotten worse, not better, if we have so many self-healing mechanisms in place? So if you don't understand that, you can't share the impacts of common toxic exposure in your patient's health if you never learn them in the first place. And since it takes 40 years for emerging data to reach mainstream, remember we covered that in our last episode, our collective toxic burden and the resulting inflammatory conditions are just evolving too rapidly for traditional doctors to catch up. And they may eventually, but I'm guessing you don't want to wait. So the truth is, our body's natural detox systems are overloaded and they need help. We now have decades of exposure to environmental toxins in our air, food, and water that disrupt our body's self-regulating processes, distort our hormones, and overload our natural detox systems. There are over 84,000 chemicals registered in the US. And while most of them have never been tested for safety, the few that have been studied by the CDC have shown up in 98% of the population. That's a lot of people. That's like all of us, right? And these few chemicals studied have been linked to cancer, diabetes, digestive conditions, resistance to weight loss, thyroid disease, hormonal imbalances, energy issues, and more. Our bodies just did not evolve with chemicals. And so they don't have natural excretion pathways designed to combat them specifically. So both are true. Our bodies are brilliant, right? And they are naturally self-maintaining. And we don't have these natural strategies in place for stuff that our bodies evolutionarily have never seen before. And unfortunately, I've yet to meet a person who could not benefit from supporting their health with a little detox protocol. The data clearly states that toxins contribute to myriad health conditions. Why wouldn't you want to treat the root cause of your health issues, not just the symptoms, right? Myth number 2, clean living, in quotes, clean living is enough to stay healthy. As long as we're exercising every week and taking moderately, making moderately responsible health choices, we shouldn't need a detox, right? Well, yeah, that would be great if that were true. And it used to be. So really, I just draw your attention back to what we already covered. Clean living is wonderful, but for many of us, it just isn't cutting it anymore. And I wish it was enough, because you have to eat food, though, that's been contaminated by herbicides and pesticides, even organic produces. And you have to breathe air that's been polluted. And most of us drink water with microplastics, antibiotic waste, and heavy metals that aren't filtered out. And you have to live in a house with walls and furniture that off-gas chemicals. It sucks, but that's where we're at. So let's be smart about it, right? Myth number 3, detox is only for people with a history of substance abuse. And I think you get by now, that's not the case, right? While alcohol and narcotics do create additional burden on your liver and kidneys, the need to detox is not limited to folks with a history of substance abuse. For example, 25% of Americans now have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's a lot of people. It's not just about the substances, right? We're all overloaded, and we're several generations into that chemical era that we talked about last time. We inherit mom's microbiome and her toxic burden at this point, which means we come into this world carrying hundreds of chemicals that our bodies didn't evolve knowing how to excrete. And this has been increasing since the 1950s, when we had this major boom in petrochemical invention to use up that post-World War II oil surplus. Studies have found hundreds of toxins present in our umbilical cords at birth. That then comes our own environmental exposure, right? But we're already starting on the back foot. That's crazy. So everyone can benefit from some real detox support. I do want to say, since we just mentioned pregnancy, please don't start a detox while pregnant or breastfeeding, and always consult your personal healthcare authority before starting a detox protocol. Myth number 4, detox is a short-term fix for all health problems. Just do a weekend cleanse, right? Boom, you're good to go. No, ma'am. The truth is, real detoxes are measured in months, not days, and include an ongoing maintenance plan to support your body afterwards. Since we're exposed every day to weird stuff our body prefer not to have to deal with, you just want a little plan in place if you really want to be at your best. Nothing extreme, just a little bit of support once you've finally reached, your health goals. So we just want you to think about it this way. You lived your way into the state of health you're in now. You're gonna live your way out of it and into a better state. And cultures on every continent used to have short-term cleanses built into their seasonal and religious calendars, which is awesome for healthy people who want to stay healthy. That's what a cleanse is really for, right? But if you've got persistent symptoms, it's a longer process to unpack now that we're in the chemical era. And Michael and I definitely searched for that quick fix that would free us both from our symptoms. Me more than anybody, I was like, just give me the pill, damn it. I don't want to think about this anymore, right? He was way more willing to do the work, by the way. So he deserves that credit. But unfortunately, no weekend cleanse is going to safely and effectively peel back decades of damage. Think of detox as a lifestyle, not an event. And then you'll be much happier. So myth number 5, detox is a tea or a protein bar that's marketed to you on Instagram by a celebrity. Whoops. Sorry, that's me editorializing there. No, the truth is that no processed products can take the place of real detox. But because the health industry is so poorly regulated, many companies can claim vague benefits to their processed products and toss around words like detox, right? While some herbal teas do contain anti-inflammatory properties and help support your body's own detox processes, including dandelion, chamomile, peppermint, and cistus, they don't qualify as a real detox protocol by themselves, but they're great support. So we use customized food plans tailored to your symptoms and health goals, as well as, supportive supplements and detox therapies. And that's what a real detox will include. They'll include targeted, high-quality supplements, detox therapies, and changes to your environment to reduce your ongoing exposure to the chemicals, plastics, heavy metals, and pathogens overloading your system. So much fun, right? Okay, myth number 6. Detox is a juice cleanse. Sorry, hon. Juicing by itself may help to mobilize toxins out of storage, but not safely excrete them. So while juicing can be a phenomenal detox support, if you don't have binders, which is a class of supplements, and drainage support on board, you may get more symptoms in the short or long term. So work with a pro to keep yourself safe. Just know you need those other elements on board. Myth number 7, one detox diet fits all. Spinach is the thing. Celery is the thing. Sorry, sweetie, that is just not true. You are very special. You're a little snowflake, and your body wants to be treated as such. So, food is medicine, right? We know that. But in this wacky world, we've developed responses to food that are anything but healing. And it depends on your symptoms. You may have food sensitivities, histamine issues, or sensitivities to oxalates or lectins. And during detox, you'll need a food plan that is tailored to your needs. Whether you're working on healing weight resistance, digestion issues from colitis to constipation, leaky gut, candida, parasites, SIBO, mold toxicity, arthritis, thyroid dysfunction, Lyme, one size does not fit all. By the way, can we still be friends if I admit that those are all my favorite things to talk about? Get excited because I want you to feel better. And there's so much amazing information to share. So, myth number 8, detox equals anything that mobilizes toxins. No. You need a protocol with strategic support at multiple levels to safely excrete toxins and reset your own healing systems. Detox protocol elements include proper nutrition, anti-inflammatory support, drainage support, toxin mobilizers, toxin binders, and regenerative support to heal the damage caused in your tissues by these unfriendly little guys that never should have been there in the first place. And each of these elements should be chosen based on your symptoms and your goals, and play nice with the other elements of your detox protocol. So once your cells get exposed to toxins and enter the cell danger response cycle, which we'll talk about in a future episode, your body requires deliberate types of support to complete the healing process and return all the way to health. Myth number 9, fasting is the same as detox. Everybody fast. No. While fasting has historically been a powerful healing tool and it can have many health benefits, I'm really not knocking fasting. It's just not the same as detox and it just doesn't cover it, okay? Because people living in a modern lifestyle are generally too toxic to start any fast without preparation and support. We just don't recommend fasting without supervision, including intermittent fasting, because it can mobilize toxins too quickly without that proper support designed for you, putting a lot of pressure on your kidneys and liver. So that's why you see some people who really feel good on intermittent fasting. And then, their best friend who tried it with them really does not. They don't lose the weight, feel really tired and exhausted, or they lose a little bit of weight and then they get stuck immediately and they have a flare up of symptoms. It's usually because toxins have been mobilized out of storage and their body does not have enough support to get those things out. So they are just getting all kinds of fucked up, basically re-traumatizing their body again with those toxins. Myth number 9. Oh no, we already did that one. Myth 10. You had to feel like shit when you detox. No, you should not feel sick while detoxing, okay? Herxheimer's reactions can happen on many detox plans, but a well-designed protocol should be adjustable to help you avoid most or all detox symptoms. And for those who aren't familiar with that term, Herxheimer reactions, that's what we call the detox flu. And it's usually a sign that you do not have the drainage support and binders in place to scoop up recently mobilized toxins to help safely excrete them. Adjustments are needed. That's all, to make sure that your healing protocol is actually supporting your body. And you also need a lot of energy on board because it takes work for your body to mobilize this stuff out of storage, get it all the way out the door, and do the healing required, right? So when detoxing certain medications or narcotics, the picture gets a little bit more complicated, and we'll cover that in future episodes as well. Check with the health pro that's helping you through your protocol. And if they don't know what to do, then you need to look for somebody else. Myth 11, you have to feel deprived of comfort and joy while you detox. No, you don't. Doing a deep systemic detox will help you to finally feel supported and at ease in your own body. Get ready to feel a whole lot happier. Those cravings go down, those crashes disappear, the moodiness and that disproportionate reaction that we have to incoming stress. That's one of the most common signs that you need to detox. And all of that just melts away when you're on the right detox protocol for you. It does take time. Remember, detox is a lifestyle, not an event. But it does happen. So while you will benefit from leaving old coping habits behind, think about those crutches, sugar, alcohol, processed food, blah, blah, blah. The reasons you need those crutches will heal with a proper detox protocol. So it's so worth it. Our clients and students are just always amazed. No more hangry moments, no more sugar cravings, no more energy crashes, no more reaching for soothers to fight back stress. It's all gone. It's well established that certain toxins contribute to anxiety and depression, and getting them out frees you from emotional triggers that had you reaching for those crutches in the first place. If I had understood all this back in the day, I could have saved myself a lot of anguish. So, for most of us, our symptoms come on so slowly, it's hard to notice or remember what feeling energized and clear is really like. Or our inflammation buckets finally overflow when a stressful life event hits us. So then we blame that stressful life event. We don't understand that this toxic buildup has been accumulating under the surface for years. We have an amazing client who started a health crash when his wife was having a stressful labor and didn't realize that it had been building for a long time under the surface. So he's looking at that stressful life event thinking, why did my body fail me at one of the most important moments? Right. But that's not what was happening. It was just that the bucket finally overflowed at that moment because of that stress. Okay, so we struggle through life sometimes, waiting to finally get sick enough to merit a diagnosis. That's kind of like the American health pattern, right? And when we finally get one, our doctors don't even know to tell us about toxins and their contributing factors to our health conditions. That's the bummer, right? So getting back to why didn't our doctors tell us about this? They didn't have the training. And if they're not actively seeking out this information, even though there's tens of thousands of studies out there that prove it, they don't know what to share with you. So I just want to close out with the biggest myth that I would bust if I could for everyone. That's myth number 12. Our health is our doctor's job to manage. And there's nothing to do but muddle through until we finally get a serious diagnosis. I'm guessing if you're here, you already know that's not the case. Because we know our bodies are our own responsibility. While we may need health practitioner support along the journey, we're in the driver's seat at all times. They can only help with the navigation. And if you don't like where you've ended up, it's okay. It's never too late. Just hang in there. You can choose a new protocol that gets you headed in the right direction today. It's never too late to change your relationship to your body and how you feel. I want you to know that and take that away. Take it into your bones because it's very true. I thought it was way too late for me. I was trying to drink myself to death when Michael finally discovered that toxins were the original issue for me and started relentlessly seeking out options. We call him the solvent probbler, by the way, behind the scenes, because when he deals with a problem, like when he's searching for something to, a solution, he just will not give up until he finally finds what works. And thank God, because I would not be here without him. And the same can be true for you. It's just never too late. That's what I want you to know. You have a divine right to feel healthy and powerful in your own skin. So don't settle for less. And so I just want to let you know that you're not alone, right? Because I'm not embarrassed to admit that I waited to detox because I felt too fragile. Once Michael had figured this out, I was like, okay, cool, but it's still too late for me. And this is too hard and I don't have the energy and I want to die. So you're really going to have to drag me kicking and screaming through this. Because I was afraid of losing my crutches that helped me to cope. If I'd figured this out sooner, I would have wasted way less time in pain, feeling out of it, sucking at work, stressed in my relationships, and coping and hiding from the world. But now that I'm healthy, I've learned to trust my body and myself again. And helping our clients and students navigate this journey has made it all worth it. So stick around to learn more detox tips. If you'd like to get started now, you can always take our free quiz and get your detox score on our website. That's detoxrejuvenation.com. And until next time, remember, you got this and we're on your side.